This video is going to be a follow-up to the video I did analyzing Charlie Wood's swing. And in this video, I'm going to tell you how to get those key points that I mentioned in the previous one, and that's going to make you a better ball striker. So to start with,
Step 1, setup.
Charlie has a really good setup position. His back is nice and flat, and that allows him to rotate around his spine. When a lot of people set up, they call it the C posture, or I call it the turtle back. You look like a turtle when you're set up to it like this. When your spine is not flat, you're not able to rotate. You want to rotate around your spine to make a really efficient, powerful swing. So in order to get that setup position, I want you to throw the club down. I want you to set up, put your hands across your chest like this, and then you're going to put your hands behind your ears. That's going to take the roundness out of your back. You want a nice flat back position so you can turn back and through. So that's step 1.
Step 2, simple, powerful backswing initiation.
Step 2 is to get back into a good position where you're not having a bunch of manipulations and you're creating good power. In order to do that, we want to rotate everything back together. So my hands are going to stay in front of my chest. Everything turns back at the same time. What a lot of people will do is they'll come back, the right arm collapses because they're reaching across the chest. That's because they're dragging the club back with their hands and arms. What I want you to do is move everything starting from your shoulders. You're creating that power to get back to the ball. So set up, turn to here, and then your hands stay in the same position related to your body. So with the club, it's going to look like this. The leading edge of the club is parallel to your sternum at setup. When you turn back, it stays parallel to your sternum. You're pushing your weight into the instep of the right foot, and that's for something that's going to come later. You don't want to get on the outside because that's going to make it difficult to start the downswing. So as you turn back, the leading edge of the club stays parallel to your sternum. A good way to feel that is lift it in front of you like this and just go from here to here. You're creating the feel for where you want to be halfway back. Then go down incrementally, trying to get that same position. And it looks the same from impact and then back to here. And when you're halfway back and you haven't changed anything and you have that good extension like Charlie does, the inside of your right arm is pointing away from your chest. They're kind of up in the air. Anatomically, it's going to be easy for you to go from here up to the top of the backswing and be on plane. So it's boom, boom. From impact, push it back, elbow bends, and now you're in a good position to get back through because your weight's on the instep.
Step 3, weight on trail instep, and start downswing from the ground up.
So the way power is created in the golf swing is the lower body turns, and that gets the upper body and the torso turning. As you move in this order, everything gets faster and faster. They build on top of each other. So you're at the top of the backswing. If you can start with the lower body and get through, then your torso starts to turn. And that's going to move your arms, and then ultimately the power gets to the club. As you get further and further down the line, the power goes up and up and up. So the more efficiently you can turn, starting from the ground up, the more power you're going to create. So when the weight's on the instep and you're able to drive quickly, that's going to translate into more power here later. In addition to that, you're not having a bunch of compensatory moves, so you can come through impact and keep the club square.
Step 4, don't flip with your hands.
A lot of people like to say, hey, when you're swinging through impact, to get power, you got to flip your hands. Two things wrong with that. It's not an efficient way to create power, and the club's not square. So you're going to hit it here and here and here. We want you to keep the club square through impact, let your body keep the club square, and that's going to get you to the ball the right way. So what we're going to do, get in the good setup position where you anatomically can turn, keep the club in front of you. It's a simple move by bending your right arm. Your weight's on the instep of your right foot. Now you can start driving back to the ball. When you drive back to the ball, you're trying to get back to a point that your hands and belt buckle come through together.
And step 5, release the club with your body.
What I want you to do is picture this. If there's a camera in your belt buckle, as you swing through impact, the longer that camera can see your hands, the longer the club's going to stay square. So you're rotating through, trying to keep everything in front of your body. Think of square related to your body. So the leading edge of the club at setup, like we said earlier, is parallel to your sternum. Keep it parallel to your sternum as you swing through impact. And that's going to keep you square all the way through, and you're going to have a good, efficient power delivery. And it's going to look like this. Let's real quickly go over the key points that we talked about here. At setup, you can see Charlie's spine is nice and flat and his arms are straight down from his shoulders. This is going to get him in a good position where he's going to get that good powerful turn and he doesn't have a lot of extra moving parts. When we're halfway back, you can see the arms are extended. You're creating a lot of centripetal force moving out from the middle of your body, and you have no manipulations at this point. So when you're here, it's easier to get back to the ball because you haven't changed that much to get back to this point. All he has to do is bend that trail arm to get to the top of the swing. As he goes on up to the top of the swing, you can see the weight stays on the instep of his right foot, and this is going to allow him to start the downswing from the ground up. As he turns through, because his body's rotating through, he doesn't have to flip his hands. That doesn't give extra power. The power is created, again, by the chain reaction, starting from the ground, going up through the hips, through the torso, to the arms, and then ultimately to the club head. And then, as he turns through, he releases the club with his body, and the hands come through with his belt buckle.
Hope that educates your game. I'll talk to you soon.